Yes, good evening. It's early Friday evening. My apartment is super hot. It's still 30 degrees. So let's read. I like to read about the attack on Pearl Harbor in the Second World War. Why not? Yes, I like to read more about what happened in the Second World War with Imperial Japan, but it had nothing to do with the modern Japan. What happened in Second World War with the Imperial Japanese Navy has nothing to do today with the modern Japan. I know that we are in year 2023. So actually my mom was born close to there. So let's read about it. So when I'm finished reading, the sun is 6 p.m. in 10 minutes. So when the camcorder's out of power, the sun has gone down. I need a minute because my pillows is troubling me. I need to have my pillows behind my back because I have pain in my back. Because my body weight are getting up and up and up. I'm eating too much because I'm not feeling well. I always have problems with my mom. I never have any money, and I'm always alone in my apartment, my hot apartment. Many months and years. I've been alone in my apartment. So I think this is why I eat too much candy and fruits. So I have to stop do that, but how much to do that when my life is always like this? So I'm living my life in a 30-degree hot apartment every day and with no money. So
Attack on Pearl Harbor. Coordinates 21 degree 2154 and 157 degree 5700 W. Attack on Pearl Harbor, part of the Asiatic Pacific Theater of World War II. Photograph of battleship Roe taken from a Japanese plane at the beginning of the attack. The explosion in the center is a torpedo strike on USS West Virginia. Two attacking Japanese planes can be seen. One over USS Neosho and one over Naval Yard. Date December 7, 1941. Location Oahu, Territory of Hawaii, US 21 degree 2154 and 157 degree 5700. Result: Japanese victory precipitated the entry of the United States into World War II on the side of the Allies. See other consequences. Belligerents: United States Empire of Japan commanders and leaders. Husband E. Kimmel, Walter Short, Isoroku Yamamoto, Shichi Nagumo, Mitsuo Fuida. Units involved: United States, U.S. Pacific Fleet, Empire of Japan, 1st Air Fleet. The attack on Pearl Harbor, NB-3-11, was a surprise military strike by the Imperial Japanese Navy Air Service upon the United States against a U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor in Honolulu, Hawaii, just before 8 a.m. local time, on Sunday, the 7th of December, 1941. The United States was a neutral country at the time. The attack led to its formal entry into World War II on the side of the Allies the next day. The Japanese military leadership referred to the attack as the Hawaii Operation and Operation AI-12, NB4, and as Operation Z during its planning. 14. The attack was preceded by months of negotiations between the US and Japan over the future of the Pacific. Japanese demands included that the U.S. end its sanctions against Japan, cease aiding China in the Second Sino-Japanese War, and allow Japan to access the resources of the Dutch East Indies. Anticipating a negative response from the US, Japan sent out its naval attack groups in November 1941, just prior to receiving the Hull note. The U.S. demand that Japan withdraw from China and French Indochina. 15. Japan intended the attack as a preventive action. Its aim was to prevent the United States Pacific Fleet from interfering with its planned military actions in Southeast Asia against overseas territories of the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and those of the United States. Over the course of 7 hours there were coordinated Japanese attacks on the U.S.-held Philippines, Guam, and Wake Island, and on the British Empire in Malaya, Singapore, and Hong Kong. 16. The attack commenced at 7:48 a.m. Hawaiian time, 6:18 p.m. GMT. NB5, 17. The base was attacked by 353-18 Imperial Japanese aircraft, including fighters, naval and dive bombers, and torpedo bombers, in 2 waves, launched from 6 aircraft carriers. 18. Of the 8 U.S. Navy battleships present, all were damaged, with 4 sunk. All but USS Arizona were later raised, and 6 were returned to service and went on to fight in the war. The Japanese also sank or damaged 3 cruisers. Strength 8 battleships, 8 cruisers, 30 destroyers, 4 submarines, 3 USCG cutters, NB1, 47 other ships, 390 aircraft, 6 aircraft carriers, 2 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, 9 destroyers, 8 tankers, 23 fleet submarines, 5 midget submarines, 414 aircraft, 353 took part in the raid. Casualties and losses: 4 battleships sunk, 4 battleships damaged, 1 ex-battleship sunk, 1 harbor tug sunk, 3 light cruisers damaged, NB2, 3 destroyers damaged, 3 other ships damaged, 188 aircraft destroyed, 159 aircraft damaged, 2,008 sailors killed, 109 Marines killed, 208 soldiers killed, 68 civilians killed, 2,403 total killed, 1,178 military and civilians wounded, 4 midget submarine sunk, 1 midget submarine grounded, 29 aircraft destroyed, 74 aircraft damaged, 64 killed, 1 sailor captured, 7 civilian casualties, 68 killed, 9 35 wounded, 10 3 aircraft shot down, 3 destroyers, an anti-aircraft training ship, NB6, and 1 mine layer. More than 180 U.S. aircraft were destroyed. 20. A total of 2,403 Americans were killed and 1,178 others were wounded. 21. Make injured, the deadliest event ever recorded in Hawaii. 22. Important base installations such as the power station, dry dock, shipyard, maintenance, and fuel and torpedo storage facilities, as well as the submarine piers and headquarters building, also home of the intelligence section, were not attacked. Japanese losses were light: 29 aircraft and 5 midget submarines lost, and 64 servicemen killed. Keijo Osakamaki, the commanding officer of one of the submarines, was captured. 23. Japan announced declarations of war on the United States and the British Empire later that day, December the 8th in Tokyo, but the declarations were not delivered until the following day. The British government declared war on Japan immediately after learning that their territory had also been attacked, while the following day, December the 8th, the United States Congress declared war on Japan. On December 11, though they had no formal obligation to do so under the Tripartite Pact with Japan, Germany and Italy each declared war on the U.S., which responded with a declaration of war against Germany and Italy. There were numerous historical precedents for the unannounced military action by Japan, but the lack of any formal warning, required by Part 3 of the Hague Convention of 1907, particularly while negotiations were still apparently ongoing, led President Franklin D. Roosevelt to proclaim the 7th of December, 1941, a day to equal live in infamy. Background: diplomacy. War between Japan and the United States had been a possibility that each nation had been aware of and planned for, since the 1920s. Japan had been wary of American territorial and military expansion in the Pacific and Asia since the late 1890s, followed by the annexation of islands, such as Hawaii and the Philippines, which they felt were close to or within their sphere of influence. 24, 25, 26, 27. Attack on Pearl Harbor is located in Hawaii. Attack on Pearl Harbor. Location within Hawaii. Attack on Pearl Harbor is located in Pacific Ocean. Attack on Pearl Harbor. Attack on Pearl Harbor, Pacific Ocean. At the same time, Japanese strategic thinkers believed that Japan needed economic self-sufficiency in order to wage modern war. The experiences of World War I taught the Japanese that modern wars would be protracted, require total mobilization and create vulnerabilities for trade embargoes and encirclement. As a consequence, Japan needed access to strategically important sources, for example iron, oil, that could not be extracted at sufficient levels in the home islands. 28, 29. Although Japan had begun to take a hostile policy against the United States after the rejection of the racial equality proposal. 30. The relationship between the two countries was cordial enough that they remained trading partners. 31, 32. Tensions did not seriously grow until Japan's invasion of Manchuria in 1931. Over the next decade, Japan expanded into China, leading to the Second Sino-Japanese War in 1937. Japan spent considerable effort trying to isolate China and endeavored to secure enough independent resources to attain victory on the mainland. The Southern Operation was designed to assist these efforts. 25, 33. Pearl Harbor on the 30th of October, 1941, looking southwest. Ford Island is at its center. Starting in December 1937, events such as the Japanese attack on USS Panay, the Allison incident, and the Nanjing massacre swung Western public opinion sharply against Japan. The US unsuccessfully proposed a joint action with the British to blockade Japan. 34. In 1938, following an appeal by President Roosevelt, U.S. companies stopped providing Japan with implements of war. 35. In 1940, Japan invaded French Indochina, attempting to stymie the flow of supplies reaching China. The United States halted shipments of airplanes, parts, machine tools, and aviation gasoline to Japan, with the latter perceived as an unfriendly act. NB7. The United States did not stop oil exports, however, partly because of the prevailing sentiment in Washington that given Japanese dependence on American oil, such an action was likely to be considered an extreme provocation. 2437. In mid-1940, President Franklin D. Roosevelt moved the Pacific Fleet from San Diego to Hawaii. 38. He also ordered a military buildup in the Philippines,